Everson, your teddy bear and glorified custodian of the fight my great-grandfather E.W. Everson took on against socialism to regain control of his beloved Republican Party. This great American story has inspired this Grizzly Groundswell. Although in power, the moderate old guard faction of the grand old party is abundantly overstocked in politicians and desperately bankrupt of leaders. This is the essence of why they betrayed the American citizen and taxpayer, choosing socialism over freedom and liberty in this $700 billion bailout just to get a political football off the front pages of the lame street media in a tight election cycle and curb the momentum of the conservative Republican movement that embraces the Republican free market party platform. In America, we have the freedom to fail. In those failures, true greatness and leaders are thrust into realizing great opportunity and continue to get up, dust themselves off, and get busy building and attaining the American dream, reigniting that shining city on the hill. Those that seek public office are one of two things. Either they are leaders or they are politicians. Only a handful of great Americans are both. Leadership is a human ability to point in a direction and motivate others to follow and accomplish that goal. Politicians are cunning and artful in the science of government and devoted to their own advancement in public office. Here we have two strategies that are utilized today in our American political parties. Today, the old guard of the Republican Party, in the absence of true leadership with no firm foundation of platform principles, has embraced and promotes the politician over the leader. You see, politicians are easily led and corrupted with the promise of power and their thirst to advance themselves within the structure of the party politic. Often, advancement of politicians is not upon character, integrity, talent, worth, and lifting up of the neighbor and colleague, but rather less moral scheming and tearing down of their neighbor. Politicians succumb to the seductive deception of socialism every time they attain even a crumb of political advantage from breaking with their party's platform to the frustration and disdain of party membership. Leaders work on a whole other plane. Leaders are difficult. They cannot be corrupted easily. They are not led by their own vanity and often find themselves thrust into power. Often true leaders step into leadership out of a need or calling. In a group of desperate combatants, the leader is found by following the eyes of the members, as they will often rest on one individual. It is the character of that individual to step up into that role when eyes cannot be diverted to another. Leaders are unable to give in to the seductive deception of socialism and adhere to the party platforms even at the cost of personal political advantage. Leaders put talented colleagues in positions that showcase their talent and worth and will bring about success, lifting up their neighbor and colleague to positions and opportunities that may even exceed their own fame and political office to attain the goal and secure the victory. Leadership is a selfless endeavor. The role of a statesman, very few politicians have the character to embody. If a party structure is so corrupted by politicians rather than leaders, there is little hope of success and victory against any opponent, thus leading to even more politicians being drawn to the organization as opportunists. This, I feel, has been very evident in the DNC and is becoming more prevalent in the RNC as the GOP's moderate old guard desperately attempts to destroy the current conservative Republican faction at the cost of all of our futures. If there is a fundamental shift in the Republican Party, it is found in the Republican House freshmen who got Grizzly and all voted under great duress against socialism and against the $700 billion bailout, so infested with earmarks utilized to buy corrupted politicians' votes. 82% of the retiring Republican representatives voted for the bailout. It is refreshing and hopeful that true leadership is being exhibited against the failed old guard moderate politician. There are leaders in the Republican Party as a whole, but the politicians infesting our party, co-opting with the DNC to choose socialism instead of freedom and liberty, must be chased out of our government and beloved institutions. In closing, American fathers and mothers and fathers, raise your children to be leaders, lifting up their neighbors, and I pray you never, ever allow them to be found only mere politicians.